तो हेलो गाइस, आई एम प्रतीक अग्रवाल, लाजपत नगर नई दिल्ली से, और दिल्ली गेमर चैनल पे आपका स्वागत है। तो आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे लास्ट ऑफ अस पार्ट 2 के बारे में। और लास्ट ऑफ अस पार्ट 2, माय रिव्यू, माय एक्सपीरियंस, माय ओपिनियन, and I will use mostly English so that the people who don't know Hindi would be able to understand it. Okay, I'm not good so good with English and all, but yeah, I will try my best. And some jokes I will crack in Hindi. So let's and some of the feelings, some sentences I will use in Hindi. Okay. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ अंग्रेज़ी में बात करूँगा, मैं थोड़ी बहुत हिंदी में भी बात करूँगा। तो आपको मज़ा आने वाला है। तो चलिए चलते हैं लास्ट ऑफ अस पार्ट 2 के रिव्यू के बारे में। ओके, सो हियर इट इज। तो बताने से पहले मैं ये ज़रूर बोल दूं कि स्पॉयलर्स होंगे पूरे। दिस होल रिव्यू इज गोइंग टू बी विद स्पॉयलर्स, बिकॉज विदाउट स्पॉयलर्स दिस गेम कैन नॉट बी डिस्कस्ड। दैट्स द थिंग। यू नो, लास्ट ऑफ अस पार्ट 2 इज़ अ वेरी वेरी कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल एंड डिवाइसिव गेम। यानी कि बहुत ज़्यादा कॉन्ट्रोवर्सीज हैं। मतलब कई लोग इसको अच्छी गेम बोलते हैं और कई लोग इसको बुरी गेम बोलते हैं। कई लोग बीच में भी हैं जो बोलते हैं हाँ ठीक भी और बुरी भी। और एंड आई थिंक एवरीबडी इज जस्टिफाइड अबाउट इट, कि जिनको अच्छी लगी अच्छा है, जिनको बुरी लगी वो भी ठीक है, उनका रीज़न भी समझ में आता है। लेकिन आज जो लोग इस गेम को अननेसेसरी हेट दे रहे हैं, कई लोग तो खेले ही नहीं है इस गेम को, और कई लोग मतलब हद से ज़्यादा इमोशनल होकर हेट दे रहे हैं, वो मेरे को सही नहीं लग रहा है। और क्यों नहीं लग रहा है वो मैं आपको इस वीडियो में बताऊंगा। वाई आई एम फीलिंग लाइक द पीपल हु आर गिविंग इट द रेटिंग ऑफ 3 और 5 आउट ऑफ 10, दैट्स नॉट जस्टिफाइड। दिस गेम हैज़ done very well. You know, this game is going to go down in history according to me, and I am going to tell you why. I am going to tell you my experience. So let's start with it. You know, Last of Us Part 1, it came in 2013 for PS3, and later on came as Last of Us Remastered for PS4. And I played Last of Us Remastered for PS4, and when I played it, I didn't have any experience. Like, that was my first game on PlayStation 4. I have played a lot of video games before, but Last of Us, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know that what it is all about, and I only knew that it had zombies in it. That's all I knew about it. I didn't know कि it was liked for its gameplay, whether it's liked for its story. And I think when you enter a game, you should at least get to know what that game or that movie or that series is about, and for what it is appreciated, what the director wants you to see. अब यार, क्योंकि अगर तुम गॉडजिला वर्सेस कॉन्ग देखने जाओगे और उसमें तुम इंटरस्टेलर के लेवल की स्टोरी को एक्सपेक्ट करोगे, तो तुम बेवकूफ हो। मतलब मतलब सॉरी टू से, बट हियर द इडियट वन इज यू. You cannot expect an interstellar level of story from a regular movie like Godzilla vs Kong. It was made for VFX, it was made for action sequences, and they had done them well. So that movie was good in that sense. If you are going to watch James Bond 007, you are going to watch their style, okay, the cinematography, the VFX, the gadgets, the coolness of James Bond. Okay, you are not going there for watching some porn. Okay, just I'm giving an example. So when I booted up Last of Us, I had no idea. I played the game. I played it on grounded difficulty, and on grounded difficulty, that is the hardest difficulty, and that is the new difficulty which was updated in the remastered version, okay, for PlayStation 4. So in grounded difficulty, the number of bullets you get are as rare as collectibles. हमारे कि इतने रेयर है कि तू 2 लेवल पार करोगे, तुम लोग 2 लेवल पार करने पे तुम्हें मुश्किल से 5 बुलेट मिलेंगी पिस्टल की, और शायद बहुत ज़्यादा लकी हो ना तो 1 कार्ट्रिज शॉटगन की मिल जाएगी। ये हालत है ग्राउंडेड डिफिकल्टी में। यू हैव टू रिलाई ऑन मिली एंड स्टेल्थ, ओके, एंड दैट इज वेयर यू विल स्टार्ट अप्रिशिएटिंग द वीडियो गेम्स मैकेनिक्स, बिकॉज लास्ट ऑफ अस हैड सम मैकेनिक्स which no other game had. At least I didn't see any of such mechanics in previous games that I had played. Okay, so saying that Last of Us doesn't have gameplay, maybe you should reconsider your opinion about it, because I loved its gameplay, and try playing it on grounded difficulty. Okay, this is about gameplay. And about the story, yes, because I couldn't feel it a lot. Okay, I was neutral with it. Yeah, it's an okay story, and the ending was something, bit of something different, something which was expected as well as not expected. After watching Joel and Ellie, I knew that he was going to take this decision. I knew. Many people didn't. Maybe some people didn't expect. Some people were expecting. Yeah, but that created a lot of emotions, and I couldn't feel them mainly because I played them on grounded difficulty. Because यार सीधी सी बात है that I was so much engrossed in the gameplay, I couldn't experience the story at that time. मैंने अब यार मतलब जैसे वो शायद जो वो किड है सैम, ठीक है ना, मतलब कुछ कुछ इमोशनल सीन्स हैं जिसमें एक बंदा मर गया या सम साइड कैरेक्टर डाइज एंड द गेम हैज पोर्ट्रेड इट वेरी in a very beautiful manner. Okay, you feel for that guy, you break down, you get tears, you cry over dying, over a person dying, and I was like अरे यार ये इससे पहले ब्लोटर से फाइट करी थी, मेरे पास एक ही मोल्टोव कॉकटेल था और वो उसी पे लग गया. समझ रहे हो ना, लोग रो रहे हैं कि वो बंदा मर गया, अरे यार इतना अच्छा आदमी था, और मैं इस बात पे रो रहा हूँ कि मेरा एक मोल्टोव कॉकटेल वेस्ट हो गया. So you can very well imagine, you can very well understand what happened with me while I played, and that was my first playthrough, and that too on grounded difficulty. It was a kind of stupidity because I didn't know anything about the game. I had no idea. Just the friend said that yeah, play it. It is the best game ever and all that. And yeah, it was not a bad experience. I loved Last of Us. Let me tell you, but yeah, I couldn't appreciate the story that much. So that means many people connected with the character Joel. Okay, he's a father figure, and people have connected with him. Okay, and many people saw their father in him, because yes, Joel is very much relatable, which I understood very much later on. In fact, when I completed Last of Us 2, that was the point where I started connecting with Joel. You will be surprised to know it, because everybody will say कि Last of Us Part 2 में Joel को सिर्फ 5 minutes के लिए दिखाया है, मतलब 5 minutes के लिए you play as Joel and you watch Joel for maybe an hour. Okay, maybe an hour, depends on how you play it. But there are only for 2 or 3% of the whole game you watch Joel. That is not what people expected from Last of Us Part 2. That's the thing. And I wasn't expecting anything from Last of Us Part 2 when I saw the trailer and I saw the reactions. And okay, I didn't understand that a lot, because I already told you that I couldn't connect with Joel at that time. I couldn't connect with any of the characters, and you know the weird reason for it, but you have to understand that. I was that much engrossed in the gameplay. So, Last of Us Part 2, I heard that it has a very good gameplay, and some people said that it will revolutionize the gaming industry. I watched some videos, like I follow some ordinary gamers, Mutahar, who is actually an Indian. Okay, that guy trolled the game. He said Halo 5 and Last of Us 2 both are bullshit, dog shit. He said SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for the Bikini Bottoms is much better than Last of Us Part 2. Yeah, I saw his whole video and I gave it a laugh. Yeah, it was a laughable one. An ordinary fan would have been offended by it, but yeah, it is what it is. And then I watched Video Game Donkey. He praised the game. That I didn't expect at all. You know why? Because Video Game Donkey criticizes almost every game, whether he likes it or not. He ट्रॉल्स हर गेम का मजाक उड़ाता है. कौन सी गेम नहीं छोड़ी उसने. Assassin's Creed, he has trolled it so much. He has trolled Ubisoft so much. Like, even if he likes the game, even if it is a great game like Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls, he is going to mock at them. He is going to mock Detroit. He is going to mock every second game that exists. Maybe except for Zelda and Mario series, where he becomes a bit biased. He praises them like anything. We are biased towards some things, okay? So yeah, that is understandable, because I am a big fan of Metal Gear, and मैं उसकी बेइज्जती नहीं मार सकता. Even if I know that that game has some shortcomings, I will always praise that game, and I will always praise Kojima for it. There are other games as well, but yeah, for me it is Metal Gear. And for Video Game Donkey, then it is Mario and Zelda, I suppose. So yeah, it is that it happens like that. Okay, so let's get back to the point. Last of Us Part 2, then I purchased it. I purchased a PS5, of which unboxing video I have done. You can see, you subscribe to my channel, okay? And if you want me to post more of such reviews, please subscribe to my channel, okay? And I purchased Last of Us Part 2. Since Last of Us Part 1 was my first game on PS4, Last of Us Part 2 became. I wanted Last of Us Part 2 to be the first game on my PS5. I loaded it up, I played it for some time. For 2 to 3 hours, I played it. I was blown away by the graphics. I was blown away by the way the things were. I saw Joel, he playing guitar for Ellie, and Ellie not giving shit about it. Yeah, I can understand all that. The game was beautiful. The first 2-3 hours, the conversations, the way people were acting. I had played some JRPGs before, so my experience with Last of Us 2 Part 2, like I had bought मतलब एक 4K HDR TV मैंने लिया तोशिबा का. उस पे मैंने पहली गेम Last of Us Part 2 लगाई, and in 4K HDR that game looks brilliant, it looks stunning, and it was 60 FPS. So my experience with the game was very good. I played it for 2 to 3 hours. The gameplay when I fought the zombies and all, that felt like Last of Us Part 1. And there was so much talking, people were talking in circles, and so much of walking simulator it was that I got bored at a time, and I almost felt like sleepy. Then came a scene where Abby kills Joel. Yeah, that was a horrific scene, but let me tell you that some people had already spoiled me about that. So you can understand that that scene didn't impact me much. जिन्होंने पहली बार खेला होगा उन लोगों को तो डिप्रेशन हो गया होगा, ये तो मैं श्योर हूँ, लेकिन मेरे को उतना इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ा. मुझे पता था कि जोल को मरना. हाँ, I didn't know that Joel will die in the very first 2 hours of the game. So that was a bit weird for me. I thought Joel will die at the end of the game. That is how it is supposed to be, because Joel has been the main character of the game, and you are killing him off within first 2 hours. For many people, most of the people, this was bullshit, but for me it was something different. It was very, very different and unexpected for me, and I think such an unconventional plot is less appreciated nowadays. That's what I thought at that time. So yeah, I moved on, and just like I said, first 2 to 3 hours of the game were boring. Yes, I am. It was beautiful, but it was boring at the very same time, because I couldn't see anything new in the game. All that walking simulator things, and now the areas were big, so you have to search and search and search. That actually disappointed me. So yeah, I turned off the game. I said, yeah, let's call it a day and load up some other game. I then played Spider-Man Miles Morales, and of which I have posted some videos too. Later on, after maybe a month, I booted up Last of Us 2 once again. And again, after playing Nier Replicant on PC, which was so horrible visually, not the game. The game is brilliant, the gameplay and the story is brilliant. If you want me to post the review on Nier Replicant 2, then please comment. I will. If many of you have commented, I will surely review Nier Replicant like this. Okay, so I booted up Last of Us Part 2 again. I played Nier Replicant on my PC, 1080 pixels. PC port was already horrible, and watching it on a monitor of 1080 pixels without any HDR was more horrible. The game looked white. It looked so white. And after that, when I booted up Last of Us Part 2, which was so vibrant, so beautiful, I was blown again. I was blown once again. So yeah, with that, my journey resumed. Last of Us Part 2, I played it, and then मुझे फ्रेंड्स ने कहा कि अभी तू सिर्फ zombies से लड़ा है, अभी humans को आने दे, तब तेरे को गेम में डिफरेंस पता चलेगा. Okay, then I continued it, and it is my bad habit. If I buy a game, I finish it before selling it or keeping it or whatever. So I don't leave any game like in mid before judging it. I judge the game or the movie or the series only after completing it. This is my law. Okay, so what I did, I played the game, and yes, when I found the humans, there was the game changer, because the AI was so well designed. I can't say it's perfect, but it was very well designed, because I saw many things like dogs which can sniff you out, and the enemies calling each other by name. You kill one enemy, the other enemy sobs and calls him by name. Yeah, like we kill some guy named as Evie, and we kill him, and the person says, "Oh look, she has killed Evie. Search her and kill her." Like that is the thing. If you kill a dog's owner, the dog will cry. So these all things make the game very much immersive. It is as if you are hunting people in real. And the other thing which the game impressed me a lot was not only its stealth, but the thing that perspective, the way things were shown. That perspective thing I loved a lot. I have watched a lot of anime. I recently watched Attack on Titan, and I completed its manga. So मेरा ये एक्सपीरियंस है, but like Attack on Titan revolutionary, it is a revolutionary manga, and one main reason for it is because it has shown perspective. I won't spoil AOT for you. I won't spoil Shingeki no Kyojin Attack on Titan for you, because this is not an Attack on Titan review video. Okay, so one thing I loved about Attack on Titan was they showed perspectives from each side. At the end of the day, you cannot decide who is a hero and who is a villain, and that is how it is supposed to be, because every coin has two sides, and Last of Us Part 2 has exactly tried to say that. People were crying over Joel, that why they killed the main character, but I will say that Joel wasn't a very good guy either. Joel was just a man who had dreams, okay, and he had only one dream, not even dreams, and his only dream was to see his daughter back again, which was not possible. Obviously, he couldn't see Sarah again, but he saw Sarah in Ellie, and that's what all matters. Ellie mattered everything for him. She mattered everything to him. Even Ellie never realized it till it was too late, and that's where the game's beauty come in. We don't realize people who love us most of the times till they leave us. I'm talking about parents. This happens in real. Most of you will be able to relate it. हमारे पेरेंट्स हमसे बहुत प्यार करते हैं, खासकर कि इंडियन पेरेंट्स. बाहर का नहीं पता मेरे को, लेकिन इंडियन पेरेंट्स का पता है. जब से पैदा होके हमारे तब से हमें संभालते हैं, और दे मेक श्योर कि हमारी पढ़ाई पूरी हो. मोस्ट ऑफ द पेरेंट्स डू दैट, एंड दे मेक श्योर कि हमें सफलता मिले. उसके बाद जब तक हमारी शादी नहीं हो जाती, और उसके बाद भी हमें देखते हैं, वो मरते दम तक हमें देखते हैं, काबिल तारीफ है. और हम इस चीज़ को रियलाइज कभी नहीं करते. कभी कभार करते हैं, और मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स नहीं करते. जब वो हमें छोड़ के चले जाते हैं, देन वी रिपेंट. दिस हैपन्स विद मोस्ट ऑफ अस. दिस इज हाउ द लाइफ गोज ऑन, and this is what Last of Us Part 2 has shown. This aspect I liked, because Ellie never gave a shit about Joel, and she started giving shit about, like, she started even hating him more when it was not like Ellie didn't love him. Obviously she loved him, but जोल उससे कुछ कहना चाहता था, और वो सुनने के लिए तैयार नहीं थी. जोल सिर्फ उससे ये कहना चाहता था that she meant everything to him. She meant everything to him, and Ellie wasn't ready to listen, and that is all the game is all about. And when she comes to know, because Joel lied to her that the infection was incurable, she meant nothing to the cure. Okay, but the real thing we all know is that the cure could have been made, but for that Ellie had to be sacrificed, which Joel didn't want. That was his non-materialistic, but it was a selfish reason. Even if, no matter how much we try to justify it, he killed a lot of people just to save his Ellie. That was wrong. Yeah, it was also the doctor's fault, because he was told that Ellie meant everything to him. He traveled with her for so long, and how can you kill her? But the doctor didn't accept it. He said that Ellie's life could save a lot of people, so he would like to do the sacrifice. And he wasn't even ready to. I'm talking about Abby's father. He wasn't even ready to tell Joel that the process will kill Ellie, and that was wrong. Because you are supposed to tell the because I have also been in medical field and I am also a doctor, okay, so this I know that you are supposed to tell the attendant everything. You are supposed to disclose that what the operation might do. As a doctor, he violated the Hippocratic oath. It was wrong in itself. So Joel killing those soldiers was not justified, but it was justified as well. So the thing comes in between. जोल ने अच्छा काम नहीं किया, पर उसने पूरी तरीके से बुरा काम भी नहीं किया था उस वक्त. And that doctor didn't deserve to die, because whatever he was doing was for humanity. And I think in all those aspects, if we consider everything, if we consider all the points, then Abby का जोल को मारना जायज़ था. It was justified. Abby killing Joel was justified. Where the game lagged was they didn't show what Abby's father meant to her. That is where the game lagged a bit. What I feel about it, because this showed they have shown what Ellie meant to Joel for whole one game of 15 hours, but the relationship between Abby and her father was only shown for 15 minutes. How can the player base, the fan base, connect with her, connect with their relationship? They cannot, and that is where the Naughty Dog developers lacked. This is the first. This is the thing I want to say. Then, after I completed the game, I was like a toxic guy supporting Last of Us Part 2 like anything. Okay, Last of Us Part 2 is revolutionary. Yes, it is revolutionary. And haters might go and fuck themselves. That is what I thought. Because I didn't find any reason to hate it. But yes, after 2 or 3 days, I considered the fact. Because in the last 5 minutes of the game, when I saw Joel, मैं अपना experience बता रहा हूँ, I felt sorry for him. For the very first time in the whole series, I felt sorry for him. Very much sorry. वो मुझे पता कैसा लगा था, बूढ़ा, old, tired, sad, broken person. उसको लाइफ में कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए था, उसको सिर्फ एली चाहिए थी. एंड व्हेन एली discovered the truth that Joel killed so much people for her, she left him. She stopped talking to him. She even called him an asshole. That broke that man. वो आदमी कुछ कहना चाहता था. वो अपने जीवन के आखिरी दिनों में 50 साल का बुढ़ा तो हो चुका था वो. एंड चाहे एबी उसको मारती चाहे नहीं मारती, वो किसी भी समय पे लुढ़क सकता था. ये तो श्योर था, जैसी वहाँ पर कंडीशंस थी एंड ऑल. So those were kind of his last days, or you can say the last years, and he wanted to spend them more with Ellie, and Ellie wasn't even ready to talk to him. How much you... that is why I felt a lot for that guy. So then I thought कि नहीं यार, जोल को थोड़ा और समय देना चाहिए था. And that is where I sympathized with the fan base, because the fan base was expected Last of Us Part 2 to be Joel and Ellie's adventures again. And what they did, उन्होंने पहले के 2 घंटे में ही जोल को उड़ा दिया. They shot Joel, they offed Joel within first 2 hours of the game. That will break you. That will break any kind of player, any kind of fan. So the hatred from the fans is understandable till some extent, but and you get to play as Abby, the one who killed Joel, for 12 hours. Okay, and they showed the whole story of Last of Us Part 1 again in the form of Abby, because Abby also protected an outcast. Okay, someone who had been casted away from the Scars, the Seraphites. Okay, Liu, his name was. गंजा होने के लिए, which was not their tradition, which was not their ritual, उसके लिए उसको बाहर निकाला गया Seraphites से. And even after being the enemy of Seraphites and pledging to kill all of the Seraphites, She saved that guy. Okay, and in the process she had to kill her own people, the WLF ones. That is commendable. That directly reminds us of Joel. That's what he did in Last of Us Part 1. So please try to, okay, it is understandable that Abby killed Joel and you don't even get to kill her. We will come to that part again, but please try to see here that Naughty Dog wants to say that here that nobody is guilty. कोई आदमी गलत नहीं है, सब लोग सही हैं अपनी अपनी जगह. Everybody is justified if you see their own side of story. That's what the developers have tried to show you. जोल की अगर सपोज की लास्ट ऑफ अस पार्ट 1 में एबी होती और लास्ट ऑफ अस पार्ट 2 में जोल होता और एबी को इस तरीके से मार देता तो तुम्हारा हेट डायरेक्ट जोल के लिए बनता. लेकिन द थिंग इज कि जोल एंड एबी हैव डन द वेरी सेम थिंग. इट इज जस्ट लाइक द बॉयज. हैव यू वॉच्ड द बॉयज? रॉबर्ट कर्कमैन की कॉमिक पर बेस्ड इट इज अ सीरीज ऑफ सुपर हीरोज. Those who know the boys, I am just talking to them. Homelander and the Butcher. If you have seen season 2, that guy, Giancarlo Esposito, that actor, he said to Butcher that there is no difference between you and Homelander. अगर तुम उसकी जगह होते तुम भी वही करते, तो तुम उसके अगेंस्ट इतना क्यों जा रहे हो? क्योंकि तुम भी कोई दूध के धुले शुद्ध नहीं हो. And that is what I'm trying to say, that Abby and Joel are the same. It was just the circumstances which made Abby kill Joel. Both did wrong in their lives and they both did right in their lives. So each of them deserved what they got. Why Abby didn't deserve to die, let's discuss that now. Abby, basically, she realized that all this course of revenge is bullshit. When she saw WLF and these Seraphites fighting, and she told Liu, let them kill each other, because she was fed up with this vicious cycle of revenge. And there is a big difference between Ellie and Abby. Abby only killed Joel. She just make it a point that she didn't kill anybody else. She could have killed Tommy, she could have killed Ellie, she could have killed Dina. She spared almost everyone. When Ellie killed her friends, that included Alice, that included Owen, that included Mel, and there was not a single reason for them to be killed. Ellie killed a lot of people which were dear to Abby. And yes, Abby killed Jesse, and maybe that was in self-defense. She killed Tommy, though he didn't die. She could have killed Dina to take her revenge because Dina was pregnant, and Ellie killed the pregnant lady Mel. So that could be her side of revenge, but she didn't kill after Liu requested her to not kill. And I already told you that Abby was fed up of this revenge bullshit. This was very much, that this was very much visible when at the end of the story, Ellie reaches Abby, she frees her, उसको मतलब बंधन से छुड़ाती है. She was a prisoner there and she frees her, and then they both go to the port, and then Ellie says that it is not over, and Abby could have killed her. Like Abby at that time said that I don't want to fight you. And to be very honest, I was feeling very sorry for Abby. The way she looked at that time, all her ये 2.5 किलो के हाथ जब किसी बंदे पे पड़ते हैं तो आदमी उठता नहीं, उठ जाता है. That kind of Abby was no longer that kind of muscle man. It was Abby. All those muscles had been atrophied. जब आप एक्सरसाइज नहीं करते हो तब आपकी मसल जाने लग जाती है, सीधी बात है. And yeah, that happened with Abby. She was in a very, very bad condition. All she wanted to do was save Liu. At this point of time, I didn't want Abby to die. She had spared Ellie almost 3 times. She had spared so many of her friends. All she wanted was a revenge from Joel. Yeah, it is okay that in this thing that viewers' argument is justified that they couldn't connect with Ellie that much, because the 12-hour journey, they should have included 1 or 2 hour more of Abby with her father. That was the problem with the game. uh, the story could have been handled in a better manner, at least if you consider the fans. But if you are not a fan, like a guy like me who was neutral with Last of Us, it was an 8.5 for me. For me, Last of Us 2 is a masterpiece. And I have told you every reason then that can justify the game, because the developers have perfectly shown how flawed the humans are. We humans are flawed. I don't understand the concept of goodness being compared to humanity, because being human means being flawed. Being human means being a mixture of both good and evil. That is what is being human. And that is what Last of Us Part 2 has shown. Such a game will go down in history. आज के ज़माने में लोग भले ही इसको पसंद ना करें, लेकिन आगे आने वाले ज़माने में जितनी भी गेम्स आएंगी, whatever games will come, whatever movies or anime or series will come, they will be inspired from this series. This series has taken a very Naughty Dog has taken a very bold risk to create such a game, risking completely crushing the sentiments of its fan base, but in exchange they have created something very, very special. So it should be given a chance even by the fans of Last of Us Part 1. I know your sentiments have been hurt, and I can relate to it, and even I felt for Joel, and I think how the game should have been made according to me. They showed the poster of Ellie, okay, in the whole game, and in 2018 we had the rumors that Joel will die. Okay, honestly speaking, so I was already expecting that Joel will be unplayable in this game, and he will most probably die in this game. I already know, so it didn't act like a shock for me. It has acted like a shock for the others, but not for me. First thing. The second thing, the way they marketed the game, they showed many people are saying that it has been marketed incorrectly. But I have seen the trailer. They have shown only a glimpse of Joel. They were not at all hinting, and the poster only shows Ellie. So they were already hinting you are not going to see Joel much in this game. They were already hinting. Okay, but the thing is that more than half of the game was about Abby. So instead of showing only Ellie, they should have shown Abby as well. They should have shown that Last of Us Part 2 is going to be about some other character. They should have told the truth to the audience, okay, to the fan base, that it is going to be like, if I had been the developer and if I had done the marketing, I would have shown Abby. I would have shown more of Abby in the trailer, less of Ellie, and maybe no Joel. Okay, so the players must in such a way that the players will get that, okay, this game is not going to be about Ellie and Joel. This game is about another character, and that is Abby. Then start the game as Abby. Okay, remove all those parts where she killed Joel and all. Just start the story as it is. Remove all the parts, remove all the dialogues where they mention Abby killing Joel. Mention them later on as memories. Okay, इस तरीके से गेम बनाओ. You just show the story of Abby from the starting till she saves the Seraphite. Okay, and when she discovers that her friends have been killed, she searches that map, and when she reaches a hall, she discovers that it was Ellie. और उस पॉइंट पे मेक लाइक एक्टिंग इस तरीके से होनी चाहिए, डायरेक्शन इस तरीके से होना चाहिए दैट एबी शुड शाउट, यू किल्ड जोल, यू, I spared you. Yeah, and after that, it should go blank and it should start from Ellie's story. In this way, people will get surprise. Okay, they were not expecting Ellie's story, but they will get a surprise that they are getting Ellie and Joel as well. You start the story from the Joel. Okay, like he's telling Tommy about the truth. Then he rides a horse and all this stuff. That will win the audience. That would have won the audience heart because they were not expecting Joel. They would not have been expecting Joel at that time. Then after that, you show Ellie, and after that you show Abby killing Joel. People would have sympathized with her, and also before showing all this, do show 1 or 2 hours more with Abby and her father. Yeah, that, people will say that zebra scene where he treats the zebra, that only showed the human part of the surgeon. That still didn't show how much Abby loved her father. So that is the point. And maybe here also I want to say that maybe Abby didn't love her father that much. Her desire for revenge was actually bullshit. Again, this is another element, this is another way of interpretation of the game which can be discussed. Okay, so Ellie sparing Abby is something very ambiguous. It is open to a lot of interpretations. आप किसी भी तरीके से समझ सकते हैं उस चीज़ को कि क्यों एली ने आखिरी में एबी को नहीं मारा. मैंने बता दिया क्योंकि एली को एबी के अंदर जोल दिख गया. जो मेरी interpretation is that she saw Joel in Abby. She realized her mistakes, or maybe not. Maybe she regretted again that she spared Abby. So that's it. And about the soundtrack, the guitar feature, that is awesome. The gameplay is awesome. The combat is very good, but they could have improved more with improved it with zombies. The way you deal with zombies, because that game was exactly like Last of Us Part 1 there. No improvement. They could have improved there. Boss fights, many people mentioned Rat King. That was an okay boss fight. I like boss fights like in those in Metal Gear, where you have to find the enemy's weakness and exploit it. And you cannot kill that enemy until and unless you exploit his weakness. I like those games. Such games have always like Resident Evil Village. I recently played that, and there also you have to expose the weakness of your enemies before slaughtering them. There have been more games, but I like such boss fights. And Rat King was just shooting back. That's my opinion about, like, boss fights were not very interesting. And this game, whatever it did, it deserves at least an 8. I gave 9.5. I loved it, and definitely it is my game of the year 2020 till now. I have played Doom Eternal, I have played Hades, and I have played a lot of more games. I have not yet touched Ghost of Tsushima. That is yet left to try. क्या पता कि Ghost of Tsushima मेरी game of the year 2020 बन जाए. But I am pretty sure that for the time being, my game of the year 2020 is Last of Us Part 2. So if you like the video, please press the like button, please press the share button, please share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want more of such reviews, you can comment below. I will keep reviewing, and the next games I will most probably play are Persona 5 Strikers. Yeah, Persona 5 Strikers and Lost Judgment. I am a big fan of Yakuza series, so वो तो बनता है. So bye bye guys. Take care.